ngay pagkamalala ngai kong ko'y kiw ba tawang pot sila ngay
Kuat mga yala ba tong pang ngayuso ni kayaw di ay puli di ufa ngamal mang wir kalau ngayon malo.
A few mistakes but may sila ba yung errors wa ai ole turanga hole le moli ale fa malo si ngayuso tawina tawa ma fo ngalo fo talong lakti e fa ngofi no.
Keep up the good works and the good spirit. May God bless them. Yeah.
He's got support. He's found it. Rich, roaring rugby.
Aloha lava, maloe lele, Nissan Bulu Vinaka, and welcome to Rugby World Cup on Ireland. Warm Pacific greetings. We're the show that's all about the three smallest nations competing in France, of course, Samoa, Tonga and Fiji. Today we are coming to you from the centre of Apia. That's Samoa's capital. That's the beautiful government buildings behind me. And joining me on the show today, of course, a man who terrorised defences in the Northern Hemisphere for 15 years before he returned home, and it's like the King of Samoa has come back. It's very lucky for us because he can be on our show. Manu Samoa legend Tuilagi, Alesana Tuilagi. And a first five and a fullback who was an absolute magician on the field for Auckland, the Blues, in both Samoa and New Zealand Sevens, as well as Toyota and Toulon. He was throwing no-look passes before they were even a thing, and on the world's biggest stages too. The magnificent Taito Orene Ai'i.
Talflava.
Ooh, so
And a man who served his country with distinction in a career that included 61 caps over 15 years for Manu Samoa, a veteran of 3 World Cups. And no disrespect to French legend Philippe Salah, but in this part of the world, the man who's considered to be the Prince of Centres is Aumua Vaega. Gentlemen, welcome. Lovely to have you all on Ireland. How's it being back?
Yeah, it's been good. It's good to be back and obviously to reconnect again. And obviously, back in Samoa, it's no better feeling.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Aumua, welcome.
Yeah, after Oscar, yeah. Great opportunity, and thank you for the opportunity to be back home and seeing Fiona Tuilagi.
Yeah. Good to see the boys, eh?
lovely to see the boys, but more happy to see you, brother.
Let's begin by reviewing our teams who are in action in week 3 of the tournament, starting with Manu Samoa, who went down to Argentina. Tuilagi, a very interesting game. Argentina was solid, but I think the boys in blue would feel like this was an opportunity lost, maybe.
That game was ours. We couldn't won that game easily.
Yeah.
If we play with 15 players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They put everything there on the field. If everybody got involved in the game, we couldn't won easily. They make some few mistakes, unforced errors, simple mistakes that avoidable. But if they stuck together as a team,
they could have got it, huh?
Easy.
Wow. Easy. Taito, tough conditions for kickers in that first half. The Argentinian kicker, Emiliano Boffelli, he plays in Scotland, so he's probably used to the rain. But Christian Leali'ifano, a rare off day with the boot. He'll be disappointed, but it was a tough one for him, huh?
Yeah, I guess it all comes down to how important kickers are, especially a World Cup time. Obviously, Christian will be disappointed. He's usually quite sharp, with the boot. Yeah. But as you said, you have your days, and unfortunately for Christian and Manu Samoa, it wasn't his day.
Those days come by once in a blue moon, eh? Especially with high quality kickers like him.
Definitely, yeah.
Aumua, Samoa's top try scorer. Hey, after 2 games is the replacement hooker, Sama Malolo. 3 tries in 2 games, indicative of a fine effort from the forwards. They look well drilled.
Yeah, Malolo has always made a difference when he came in, as an impact player. But I definitely agree with you. Very good player. Not just on his throwing, but around the field as well. But we just need very solid midfield. And get the ball to our wingers to finish off,
Yeah, that's what you were saying last week.
I'm sure I wish he can still, they should call him. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that call from
The defence looks good, eh? Whaalongatana Umanga. The defence looked on. What do you guys reckon?
Remember, they only got one try
Yeah.
when we were man down.
And that was in the first minute.
Yeah, that was in the first minute.
Yeah.
But the defense
Yeah.
was solid defense. You know, very very happy, and you know, hope they continue.
But it does show how important cards are. They're going to have a big impact, eh? In a game of fine margins, one card could be the difference.
All 15.
On to Tonga and Scotland now. A very professional effort in seeing off Ikaletahi. First 5, Finn Russell was straight fire. He was like a 12 on the UV index. Tonga scored 2 great tries, but Tuilagi, a tough one for the boys.
You know, it's always we call it the pool of death. You know, but credit to the Tongan boys. They fought hard. They show some passion about the rugby, and they just give it everything.
It felt tight up until about the 60th minute, and let's talk about the draw. I mean, the draw is the draw, and the coaches and players, they won't make excuses. But Scotland had 14 days off before that game, whereas Tonga had played the week before against Ireland. As a veteran of 3 World Cups, how much would that have been a factor, that extra rest?
I think the team that less time and days for to recover is
always
not
up
good,
against
always
it,
against the ones that got more days to recover. But it's not going to be an excuse. But nowadays the game is professional now. You have to take it whatever, and it's all about the mental preparation as well.
Yeah. What do you guys reckon in terms about the time off?
I think that's always been a sticky point, with our Pacific Island teams in previous World Cups.
Yeah.
It's always that time in between games. It's more the mental side of things that apart from the physical. Obviously the boys get beaten up each game, but if they can mentally get over that and get over the fact that it's a short turnaround,
Yeah.
I think that'll go a long way in helping.
Yeah. It's a bit weird though, Tuilagi, having your bye first up. It's not really a bye. When you're playing a week later than everyone else, it's not really a bye because then you've got 3 games in a row.
But for me, it's not an excuse anymore. Because we saw it coming. Lucky this World Cup, they got at least 7 days. But in 07 and 11, we only got 3 days turnaround.
Wow.
We play Friday and then we play midweek on Wednesday.
Wow.
So I don't see any excuses at the moment because if you've got 5 or 6 days recovery, that's enough for you.
Yeah. I'm glad they fixed it so that teams don't have just 3 days.
Thanks to former Samoa Leota Sapolu that raised
yeah, true. That's true.
Yes,
that's true.
yes.
He kicked up a fuss, and it seems they've listened. Taito, Tonga picked up a crucial yellow card in the 77th minute to Vaea Fafita. It was upgraded to a red. What impact's that going to have on the team?
Obviously, it's an automatic 2 week. If it's
So he's gone for the rest of the pool games.
Yeah, which is it's quite a big blow for Tonga. Because he's been one of their best. So it's a shame, but I think you've just got to just get on with it really. Yeah. But it's gonna impact their forwards anyway with the loss of Vaea.
Be interesting to see what desperation this will do for Tonga, but let's talk about that in the second half of the show when we start previewing the games. Let's just take a quick look at the cards table and just see. We had former Ikaletahi captain Neri Latu here last week asking for some cards. Well, they delivered. Tonga has joined. There you go. Look at that, straight to number 2. Chile there with 5, Samoa now with 3, and Fiji. Look at that. Just the one yellow.
You know what, Oscar?
Yeah.
You know what's annoying me with these cards that the Iron Boys are getting?
Yes.
If you get yellow carded, at least you hurt someone. Make it worth.
Make it worthwhile.
Yeah, make it. But not get yellow card by touching someone's feet or pulling someone's hair.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you saw the one that Samoa got.
Yeah.
What did he do? He pushed the player, and that constitutes foul play.
Is that where the game's going to end up? It's going to be a pushing game, not rugby anymore.
Yeah.
The old days, a lot of dirty players, rough, tough. hardly any injury, hardly any serious one. So nowadays,
There's
there's a lot of new rules, new laws, and there's a lot of injuries now. You know, they try to protect, but it's never solved the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Physicality's always been a huge part of the game. And now you're maybe introducing a bit of hesitation because of the rules, because of what World Rugby are trying to do.
Yes, but that's what we're well known for.
Yeah.
Our contact game, our physical game.
Yeah.
But now they're trying to take it away from us.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what game we are going to play.
Yeah.
Touch game or hacking game or you know, everything is changed now. Like Manoa was saying.
Yeah.
We were changing the rugby now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens after this tournament. So let's look at the pools as they stand after week 3. Of course, starting with Pool A and France sitting pretty at the top. Look at that, Italy still second, of course. Heading over to Pool B and Ireland and South Africa. Oh, South Africa going down to Ireland. That's going to make them very angry for the game against Tonga that they have next, but that's coming up later. And Tonga, well, that's why we call it the pool of death. Let's head over to Pool C. And, oh, well, look at that. Wales sitting pretty at the top of the group. They dealt to Australia. Sad to see, this could be the first tournament where Australia don't make it out of the pool stage.
Yeah, quarterfinals, hey.
So Fiji looking good to finish second if they can finish off their next games, and of course Georgia and Portugal involved in the first draw. Portugal just about having their first ever win. And now over to Pool D for Daiquiri. There we have England. Man, they are looking good. They arrested Manoa for their big game that they put 70 points on Chile, was it?
Yeah, England's on the top suite now. They're driving the plane now.
Yeah.
They're sitting there comfortable and look, who's gonna, you know.
All our 3 island nations are in action in week 4. Coming up, we will preview those games. But first, here's something we prepared earlier. Now, all across the Pacific, one of the coolest things you can do is visit the local produce and craft market here in Samoa. The market is in Fungale. It's an absolute hub for locals. And this week, Aumua went along and his visit conjured up a lot of memories for him. Let's take a look.
Olo matua na yai mo tau sanga te mina no tu ai sa mo suruiva go sku tau sanga matua. Masola mo to o ngai ni sa mo o I me mi te e ku ro la o ngai mo ke mai ai le makeki ai le pankeke ye le nga ka ai le pankeke ya au kilo ho isi me le makeki mo ngi ra so ya okay tero fia mo fia tele vo tangata wheroa I mai mo mawhitanga mainga masiasi mai matua ia me se foi tangata fia tele le lakapi seki kapis o le makeki o pe pisi o le weekend ke le nga whaifa tau ainga awale asosa ia akawai pe tonai kalo o lauru au popo ia wale whainga le umulu au o le sa o le special nga le makeki mo le taua nga le makeki I nei I Samoa. Ini lava se kas.
Okay.
Ya. Ke le o lo au le
Ya mga okupe ya.
Ha?
Mga okupe ya.
Ya malo. Ya.
Ali yang buah. Kami ai pankeke ai ngupar pa.
O ma vakar kingi yo.
Tuilagi, were you one of the naughty kids at the market?
Yes.
Okay, it's preview time now, starting with Tonga versus South Africa. Oh my gosh. Stade Velodrome, Monday, October 2nd, South Pacific time. It doesn't get any easier for the boys, Tuilagi?
Still, you know, I just still want to get behind those those boys.
Yeah.
You know, give it their best. You know, South Africa is number 2 in the world. You know, just give it to their best and make it a good show.
Yeah, yeah. Almoa, South Africa will be hurting a bit after they lost to Ireland. They're going to come out fired, which will make the size of the challenge even bigger for the boys.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but you know, I'm going for Tonga. You know, I wish that they give it all for that game against South Africa.
Yeah.
The physicality and you know, it's going to be a good game, a good opportunity and good challenge for Ikaretahi.
Proud people, eh? And they like challenges that big, eh? Tonga?
Yes, exactly. And funnier things have happened at World Cups, you know, in terms of upsets. And I think, like Almoa was saying, you know, it's a challenge, but one that I think, you know, if Tonga get up for it, you know, they may. It's a big challenge, but, you know,
yeah,
funnier things have happened and you know.
All 3 of our nations are in action this weekend. Let's talk about Fiji versus Georgia. Stade de Bordeaux. Good to see the Flying Fijians back in action after a week off. Surprising that Georgia drew with Portugal. I would have thought they would have been better. Do you think maybe Georgia aren't as good, but still, there's no easy games. As you just said, Taito, every game could be a banana skin.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, you know, Georgia, like if you look at it, a lot of their players play in the top 14, either top 14 or the Pro de Deux in France. So, you know, to come up with an 18-all draw against Portugal, you know, that was quite surprising. I'm sure they'll be upset about that as well. But,
yeah,
you know, it's anyone's game, you know, on any given day.
Everyone was surprised at the last World Cup when Fiji went down to Uruguay. It just makes the point that Toto was just saying. Could this be potentially a tricky game for the Flying Fijians?
You know, these teams coming to the World Cup, there's no easy team to beat. Georgia is a very good team.
Yeah.
We saw it when they played Manu Samoa a few years ago.
Yeah.
They're very physical. Like Almoa said, they all playing a Super 14.
Yeah.
You know, so just the Fijian boys should take another step forward from the last game. And they got a week off. They should be well prepared for this game.
It should be good.
Yeah.
It's so exciting watching the Fijians play, eh?
Always. Many this year.
Yeah.
But I think Georgia learned from the last game against Portugal. There's a wake-up call for Fiji as well, because Georgia is gonna give it all. And I like the way how Fiji, and I hope Fiji is not gonna take it Georgia lightly, because they are doing so well from the last 2 games, Fijian. But I love the Fijian to be one of our Pacific nations that are in the mix of the World Cup.
Yeah.
I think it's complacency will be what
the danger
undoes Fiji in this game. You know, we want Fiji to, you know, tick this one off and progress and advance.
Because with Australia losing, if they win this, that's pretty much it, eh? Guaranteed finish second or even first.
So they're going into this game confident.
Yeah.
You know, if they win this game, then they will take the second seed from their pool. So it'll be an interesting game.
We've got one more game to preview, but before then, every week on Rugby World Cup on Ireland, we pause to remember a player who has passed well before their time, for everyone that we've remembered so far. And this week, it is one of the greatest Pacific leaders of all, and of course I'm speaking of Papali'i Tele, Peter Fatialofa, MNZM. Almoa, a very special man in teams that you've played with.
Yes, remembering him this time of the year, and mainly in the World Cup for Samoa 91, 95, and became involved in the coaching and the management for Samoa in 99.
He would have been a fun manager to have.
Yes, he will. He always and will be a funny manager, and he's always like he loves playing like a young kid. He enjoys and have fun every time.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty, and always remembering Fats, you know, annually Swafa Paritele. Yeah, and even some of the former players and some of managers who were involved for the Manu Samoa.
Yeah, he was a very special part of Manu Samoa rugby, wasn't he, Tuilagi?
He's a top man. Peter Fat is a top man. You know, you meet him in the bar somewhere. Say, Tolly, come over. Hey, wow, what do you want to drink? Whatever by lima. You know, and then ting, yeah, enjoy the field with the guy. You know, the top man. He's a good leader on the field, like Almua was saying when he was playing. He lead the team well. You know, off the field, he lead the team well. After party as well.
Yeah.
yeah. So top man.
Awesome. Taito?
Yeah, I think my memories of Fats, obviously, he was always one to have fun, and he was always approachable. You know, you weren't scared or, you know, or frightened to go up and have a conversation because, like Almua was saying, you know, he can get along with the youngest kid in the room and the oldest guy in the room and, you know, and still have the same fun. So, but, you know, it's good to remember him, and I think I spoke about it, I think the other day with somebody, it's quite different coming to Samoa and not seeing Fats on the island, you know.
It doesn't feel the same without him, eh?
It doesn't.
Samoa has always had great players, heroes throughout the 1970s and the 1980s, but the team didn't get their true shot on the world stage until the 1991 Rugby World Cup, and when they did, Fatialofa's leadership was a huge part of their success. A legend for Ponsonby and Auckland Rugby, and of course Manu Samoa. For in memoriam this week, we pause to remember the great Papali'i Tele, Peter Fatialofa.
Peter Fatialofa, tank smash, up he goes. He missed a couple of games on the South African tour, did Peter Fats, as they call him, but he's very much back as the leader today.
Oh, we missed him so much. Our final game to preview is Samoa's must-win clash with Japan. But if they're looking for inspiration, then they could always go on YouTube and check this out, this highlight from 1991.
Leading the charge from number 8. Gets out the pass beautifully to Vaega. Martin Morris almost tackling him, but Vaega going through. Jones and Lewis going back. Who gets the touch? The try is awarded. The first try of the game, and dramatically, the scorer is Vaega, the centre.
Yeah. You still look the same, Almua.
Trying to.
Yes. Doesn't change at all.
Obviously, a significant day for you in your career, and you commemorated it in a very special way when your firstborn son was arrived in the world.
Yes, yeah. And I named him Cardiff. Yep. Same birthday with Taito Orene.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh.
Great people.
Okay, let's get into our final preview game that we're looking at, and it's absolutely huge, absolute must-win for Samoa versus Japan in Toulouse, Friday 29th of September, 8 a.m. Samoa time. It's a must-win time, really. Almua, what do Samoa have to do to give themselves the best shot at this game?
Well, we need to win that game and win well, you know, because I'm sure we don't really want to end up 4 points, and you know we have to play really well. If our forwards play the same as Argentina going forwards, you know, good scrum, good line out, good defense, that's the other key, because in Japan they play the fast game. You know, these guys play in Japan. You know, that sort of game plan. Even Japan, they're going to throw everything to us.
Tuilagi, you were saying that you want to see the wingers in action more. It was good to see Ben Lamb start, eh? And you mentioned getting the wingers running in off 9 and 10 more to create the spaces out wide. Maybe that wasn't possible in that last game against Argentina, who kept it tight, but Japan will be turning up to play rugby too, right? They're not going to play like England against Samoa.
No. As we talk about it, it's a must-win for both teams. You know, Japan will turn up with a solid game plan and trying to get involved and, you know, bring the physical, because they're small, but I can tell you, they're hard to tackle.
Yeah.
But mentioned Ben Lamb, I didn't even know he was playing on the weekend. Was he playing?
Yeah, he was playing. He was playing, yeah, he was playing. So more opportunities for him, eh? Yeah.
You know, that there is no excitement in this team. You know, it's like getting excited to go inside the field to play. I want to see that. I want to see that spirit, you know, because at the moment we're not seeing anything.
What do you think of what he's making?
Tuilagi was saying that we are not hearing the commentator. We're talking about watch out for, you know, like Tuilagi in 2011. They will say, watch out for Tuilagi.
Yeah.
You know, the old days. Watch out for Brian Lima.
Yeah.
Watch out for, you know.
Yeah. Lolani
So
Koko
we
was
are
another
looking
one.
at that
Timo
sort
Tangaloa.
of, you know, hardly any names that mentioned by commentator that you better watch out. So with our wingers, there's a must look for work. You know, don't wait until the ball comes to you. Look for work. Look for opportunity.
Maybe Manu Samoa needs to be in this position. And it's going to be interesting to see how they react. You know, when the chips are really down, when the pressure is really on, is Manu Samoa a team that needs that to kind of get a punch in the face first before they
We spoke
respond?
about it the other day. I think Manu Samoa in the games that they've won, the big games that they've won, they've thrown the first punch. They've got to throw that first punch and make it a good one. And then, you know, rattle Japan early and keep the momentum.
It's all about the mentality. Going into a game, you're going to win. You know, it's nothing else. You know, it's all about up here and here. You know, that's how you win the game.
Trusting each other, eh?
Yeah.
You know, believe in your, you know, your also.
Yes, yes.
You know, we can do it. You know, no 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, that's
All in.
really good call. Yeah, all in. And yeah, just give it all.
I cannot wait. Well, Tuilagi has to be at the airport soon, so let's wrap up the show. Brothers, thank you so much for bringing your handsome faces, your mana and your knowledge, some really awesome discussion. We're looking forward to this weekend's action, and also a lovely array of shirts, as per usual, on display. So thank you very much for being on the show. Mahalo lava.
Mahalo, mate.
Love it. Oscar.
That's us for this week. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the action. And we will be back next week for Rugby World Cup on Island from right here on beautiful Samoa. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Should we interview a taxi driver? Hey! Did you watch the Manu Samoa game this morning? You didn't? Well, that's the end of this conversation. Yeah, just doing a little interview to see if you watched the game this morning. How are your mangoes?
Very good, thank you.
Oui, là, Sozo. You from France?
I am from France.
Ouais, bonsoir, ça va?
Bonsoir, ça va bien?
Ouais, ça va, moi. Ouais.